Meghan Markle has just had a date night with a Finnish man who has been accused of both sexual harassment and racism. So what has she done to try and take the attention away from this scandal? I know, leaked Prince Harry's private pictures, never before seen, of them intimately kissing on their wedding day. And where, you might ask, my friend, has she decided to post these intimate pictures? Oh, that's right, on Mark Zuckerberg's social media network. Yes, the same social media network which she has just been campaigning against in Geneva. The strategy is nuts, but we see right through it. So officially, Meghan shared these unseen wedding photos to celebrate her 8th anniversary with Prince Harry. It was posted on Instagram with a crescent moon, and she said 8 years ago today, with a photo credit to the wonderful Chris Allerton. There was also something coded in the song that she chose to put these pictures to, Paula Abdul's Forever Your Girl. To be honest, I think that's a bit more of a threat to Prince Harry, isn't it? It's like, you're not getting away from me. So let's have a look at these. Oh, God. Yes, they were in love once, folks. They were. You know, as Lady Colin Campbell put it, he was whipped at the time. And this was an era where there was true happiness, really, between Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. It wasn't to last, of course. And it is quite extraordinary that to distract from what has been a complete catastrophe for Meghan in Geneva, she has decided to open her photo book to the world. These pictures never before seen from the wedding. We even go inside what was meant to be a private reception where Elton John performed and Harry is seen hugging Meghan's PR friend, a woman who I know called Isabel May. She used to represent the Beckhams. Yeah, you'll notice who's not there, right? Apart from a very far away glimpse of King Charles, there's lots of Doria Ragland, but nothing of the British royal family. Harry's going to be furious about this. These pictures were never meant to be seen. And of course, the bigger point is it completely undermines the argument of Meghan Markle saying these social media companies are evil. But I know I'm going to put up all of my pictures there. Here's why, though. Meghan had a cozy dinner with a sex-accused politician. Here he is, Ville Rydman. And he is a Finnish politician who, according to the Royalist, is facing sexual harassment and racism allegations. Tom Sykes reports regular readers of the Royalist will know that we have often warned of the dangers and difficulties that Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, and Prince Harry face when engaging in their quasi-royal tours due to a slim staff and a lack of local on-the-ground support when they travel overseas. A case in point is surfacing today, with Meghan facing into a selfie crisis that is sure to have her PR team feeling a serious headache coming on. For it appears that at the dinner hosted by the World Health Organization in Geneva, Meghan posed for a photo with a Finnish far-right politician who has been accused of sending vile racist text messages and of sexually harassing young women and girls. In a post on X published on Monday, Finland's Minister of Social Affairs and Health, Ville Rydman, shared a smiling photo with the Duchess, simply captioning it a dinner with Meghan. But of course, the Sussex squad was soon out, writing, "Are you not the bloke who faced allegations of inappropriate behaviour towards young women and was implicated in racist private messaging?" Rydman found himself at the centre of a police probe when a 17-year-old girl reported to a sexual abuse support chat that a party member had been harassing girls aged 14 to 17 for years. The complaint triggered a wider inquiry in which 6 women said they had experienced unpleasant encounters with Rydman, all but one of whom were underage at the time. In total, 9 women have alleged that Rydman behaved in a harassing manner towards them, allegations he has denied, according to the Finnish newspaper Helsingin Sanomat. But the allegations do not stop there. The same newspaper also uncovered the minister's text messages with his girlfriend, most of which are too offensive to quote in full. A selection of the messages, including Rydman referring to Middle Eastern people as incomprehensible monkeys and desert monkeys, criticising Muslim women who wear headscarves, and using racial slurs against black people. The Royalists reached out to the Sussex's representatives to ask whether Meghan was aware of Rydman's past when she posed for a selfie with him. A spokesperson said that Meghan was approached during the dinner by several attendees for a photograph, which she often politely obligers and that she was not aware of Ridman's past. Understandably, vetting the background of every person who asks for a selfie is not possible, a spokesperson for the Duchess of Sussex noted. But frankly, that's not good enough when you're attempting to be a fake royal. And this is the hilarious thing, they're not up to it. And this whole week has been an exercise in how not to do PR. And not only was Meghan ignored by her pals in the mainstream media in Geneva, the shots that have ricocheted all around the internet are actually this, the totally empty crowds. I mean, if you compare Geneva side by side with Sydney, with all of the barriers up, some type of suggestion that there was going to be crowds, and there were not. I mean, look at this. This is one of my favorite of women in the background who just happens to be there, and she's putting on her clothes. I mean, no interest whatsoever. Yep, you're looking great. You're looking great. Just ignore Meghan. It's brilliant. Sorry, it's giving me a lot of joy. Because unfortunately, this is Schadenfreude, isn't it? If you continue to treat the public like fools, this is going to be the result. They're not going to turn up. The Daily Mail reporting actually that Meghan seemed tense and nervous in Switzerland, which the Royal News Network quite rightly points out. I'm sure the absence of a cheering crowd was a big part of that. Queen Esther noting, "Dear Meghan Markle, for your next engagement, perhaps include rent a crowd in the planning. Those wide-angle shots have been rather unforgiving lately." And Royally Sage noting that kindness and humility training has not seemed to pay off. Not an ounce was present on Rachel's ugly mug hair. And of course, this is the problem. When you are using grieving parents, and that's what they are, it's so sad, to try and advance your pro-censorship message, and we see through it, unfortunately, you are going to be called out. I mean, look at this from Duchess Pinocchio, who quite rightly pointed out the passerby. Speaking passionately was Meghan, while a lady bystander thought it was the perfect time to touch up and fix her outfit. Now, Meghan wanted her moment in the spotlight in Geneva without her husband, but actually it may have been better that he was there, given her cozy picture with the apparently dodgy Finnish politician, not to mention the shots with Dr. Tedros in the second outfit. And Rob Shooter is now reporting that this was a plan, a PR plan by Meghan, who decided that she didn't want her husband in Geneva because this was her moment. Well, okay, Meghan, it may have been your moment, but it didn't work out particularly well, did it? One insider telling Naughty But Nice, she knew the second Harry walked into the room, the conversation would shift away from her. Standing alone beside global health leaders, Meghan spoke passionately about protecting children online, but behind the scenes, insiders say the appearance was carefully planned down to the smallest detail. Meghan simply wanted this stage to herself. People can stop pretending this was about childcare. They could easily have found help. According to insiders, Meghan saw Geneva as a rare opportunity to establish herself as an independent global figure, separate from both the monarchy and her husband. Whenever Harry appears beside her, everything becomes about royal drama and family feuds, another source explains. Meghan wanted the spotlight on her work, not the chaos surrounding the royal family. Sources say Meghan worked closely with advisors, speechwriters and stylists ahead of the event because she understood how important the moment could be for her future. Still, insiders insist Harry fully supported the strategy. This was Meghan's stage, the source said, and she wanted to completely own it. Okay, Meghan, that's fine with me. You own that moment. Because let me tell you, it was a monumental disaster of epic, epic proportions. Our royal mastermind, Angela Levin, is with us today. Angela, so great to have you back. What do you make first? Can we just kick off with the pictures of the wedding, Angela, and the fact that she, 8 years on, is showing all of these pictures which we never saw before because they're pretty uncouth. Let's be honest. They were kissing all the time at this wedding, and this is a royal wedding. I know some people will like it, Angela, but a lot of people will say this is too much. But what about the fact that she's now sharing these pictures on social media at the same time that she's campaigning against social media?
Well, it's very interesting because we all know that she said she had a horrible wedding. It was absolutely ghastly. Even though that it cost 3,000 million pounds, she didn't like it. She wanted to just have a very small arrangement with, but not such a big thing. So therefore, this is what she hates. Okay. Secondly, this is going to make everybody else hate because this is absolutely not royal. It's very rude. It's vulgar. And if you want to kiss away, absolutely fine. There's loads of places she could go away. This is now to make everybody angry about it and think that this is what she's like and she doesn't care what anybody thinks. I think it's a double hate, really. I think she's so cunning. I've got to recognise how cunning she is, and this is how she behaves. Because if you were with people who you liked, or you were people with you're very grateful because they spent hundreds of millions of pounds on you, you wouldn't do something that would be vulgar. Why would you? You wouldn't do it. So this is absolutely the opposite of going and looking through all the pictures and taking the ones that she thinks would have the most power.
And of course, no royals who paid for the whole thing, Angela.
Of course, yes, but she didn't want that. She didn't want that. She much preferred if they didn't do anything and she just had a tiny little event, the three of them. But it's not true. I think she wants a big nonsense, really. I think it's appalling to do that. I don't mean that the kissing is appalling, but it is vulgar to do that when you're joining a royal family and you've got lots of people with you and it's just not behaving yourself, are you? I mean, why don't you go into a room where nobody sees you and have a nice time? I don't mind anything like that. But just to let it go and look vulgar.
And these were
When
meant
there's
to
a
be
queen,
private
a king.
pictures.
No, yes, they're all private pictures. She's got a lot, because she says she's got loads of things which she can always make people feel very worried about. There we are. I don't want to know if they're going to go to bed with each other in 5 minutes. I mean, I really am not interested. I'm not interested how they kiss. I would like to see how happy they were. They were having a lovely time and a nice kiss, maybe even arms around the neck, but you don't have to behave like a tart, do you?
No, indeed, you do not, Angela. And then what about the fact that she has posted these pictures because she's on this date night with a Finnish politician? And look, Angela, you know I'm a big believer in innocent until proven guilty. I've got no idea if this dude, Willie, is a good Willie or a bad Willie. I don't know. But it's pretty funny, is it not, Angela, that Ms. PC, Mrs. Woke, Meghan Markle, has ended up being pictured on a date night with this guy facing all of these allegations. I mean, it just shows you, Angela, how ill-equipped her team is.
Yes. Exactly what I was going to say. She never actually makes sure that everything is okay, so there won't be any trouble if she's doing it, on it, in it, anything like that. But she doesn't listen. She doesn't do it at all about anywhere, does she? I mean, wherever she goes, there's a big mistake. Because she won't wait. It's all got to be done very quickly, and she's shouting at the staff and she wants to do it, and she's the one who knows it all. She's in charge, but she actually gets it wrong. And it's very funny. I've been rolling with laughter here, actually, by you've been going through it brilliantly. And it's just really funny because
I couldn't get over the woman at the bus stop, Angela, who's sort of like just... Oh, so there's a woman at the bus stop, then there's this woman who's just like, oh yeah, who's that? Who's that over there? I'm just gonna get my clothes sorted. I mean, the optics were absolutely terrible. But Angela,
Yes.
you have also spotted something, and I wanted to just go through what you've said about this. In the other image that Meghan Markle posted before her trip of the child believed to be Lily, her so-called daughter. And Angela, you say that if you look carefully, Lily seems to have a damaged foot.
Yes,
And you
look at
also
that.
say that this picture, Angela, shows that Lily is worshipping Meghan and that you
Yes.
don't believe Meghan is a good mother.
Yes.
And you think at 4 she must now know that no one wants to see her face, and that is highly unpleasant. So talk to me about what you're learning about this picture, Angela.
Well, you can see that actually. There's Meghan, she's got her dress. There's this little girl sitting down knowing that no one is allowed to see her face. Can you imagine, for a child of 4, she mustn't turn around. Her hair is never cut properly. I watch it and she never really does it. It's a mess, right? And this foot, looks terrible to me. I don't know if it's something very wrong or not, but it must be very uncomfortable to sit on it. But the other thing is, she's got to be there to sort of worship her mother. There she is, surrounded by clothes. Most of them, I think, are Diana clothes, actually. And she wants to make sure that her children know exactly that she's very, very important. But she's not. You don't want to do that to your mother. You don't want to do that to your child. You are putting so much stress and pressure on little children like that it's absolutely appalling. I don't know. She's you never see her with friends, that little girl, don't you? You never see it. And I think that Meghan absolutely exploits them. And we know we do, because she's done that with all sorts of things that she wants to sell, and makeup and whatever it is in her repertoire. But she just does make them feel, look, you never see those poor children. She's 4 now. And it's just a cruel, nasty thing to do, that what she's got to do is to worship her mother and know that she's ever so important.
And Angela, I mean, this picture was so gross for a couple of reasons, wasn't it? Because obviously you've got the total juxtaposition of the fact that she, the next day, is going out to give this address in Geneva against social media, which her husband has described as evil. But also, Angela, it's all of the clothing that she is surrounded by, apparently worth $250,000. And a lot of people believe that that clothing in the wardrobe is specifically about to be merged. And Meghan knew that by including Lily in the picture, she was going to get a lot more attention than if she had just posted it on her own.
Yeah, but if the pictures are pictures that were very similar or the same as Diana used, and she's going to do it to sell it, she's going to sell children's ones, and she's going to sell things for herself, then this again is a hit people nastily, because, I mean, Prince William will be absolutely furious with her, because he would not like her in his mother's type of clothes. But Meghan must have thought this is a marvellous idea.
And Angela, this is a suggestion, just talk me through it. So this is the growing suggestion that she is planning to launch her own fashion range, potentially with some items, in some way inspired by Diana? Is that the idea behind it?
Yes, the things that Diana has worn that she thinks lovely, she's going to wear them, then she's going to sell them. So that's the idea of it, I'm told. And it's too dreadful to know, because this is another way of upsetting everyone. I mean, the king will be upset, everyone will be upset, but therefore she's made her body, face there right in the middle, so everybody's got to look at her and see what she's doing. She's a nasty human being, actually, because why should she do that? She's got the shoes there as well, and this terribly old cupboard. I don't know. Really
at her house.
Nasty.
And Angela, this wasn't the only private picture that came over the past few days, because there was also this Instagram post which seemed to come after she was criticised for not posting any images with her mother, Doria Ragland, on Mother's Day. But the thing about these images, Angela, they were taken months and months ago, because we've already seen some of them from the children in the past.
Yeah, we've had them with the same clothes that they wore ages ago. And this is what they do. It's not nice, it's not relaxing, it's not, let's go out and have fun. It's not, it's just actually, now I want everybody to see that we've got grandma here and me, and I'm going to have these hats on, like looking like a cat. And the whole thing, I don't see it's fun, because those two children have to remember they mustn't turn round the whole time they are away. Now, I can't imagine anybody doing that. They've got to either hang on to their parents or remember that the whole time. It's like being in prison.
I know, it's really terrible, isn't it, Angela?
Yeah.
Then we have the real royals doing the real royal work. But Angela,
Yes.
there was quite a lovely dig here from King Charles at the Chelsea Garden Show, because who did he invite? Or I don't know whether he invited him, but his people certainly would have known that David Beckham was going to be there, because they share this great love, don't they now, Angela, of bees, I think, and honey. They've sort of bonded over that.
Bees and gardens.
Yeah, and of course, what's very interesting, Angela, is that we know who doesn't David and Victoria Beckham like. Who don't they like, Angela? That's right.
Yeah, they don't like
Harry
Meghan.
and Meghan anymore. So, but look, this was lovely, wasn't it, to see Charles? I mean, I know he's in Northern Ireland today, but I think these images were very striking, Angela. First day of Chelsea Garden, the Chelsea Garden show, Chelsea Flower show, and all of the big A-listers were there, and so was the King and Queen, and I think they very much enjoy that.
Can I just remind you of what happened, why Harry got sort of the bad look, because they were going together very closely, and then he went off abroad and he went along afterwards, and Harry decided that he didn't want to spend the time waiting, because Meghan was a bit upset with his wife, so she didn't. And so he'd gone all the way to Australia for Harry to say that he wasn't going to bother with him. And that's why he knights the king and he won't have anything to do with Harry. And Harry is now very upset, but it was a very silly thing for Harry to do.
Yeah, I know, indeed, Angela, it was, wasn't it? But the thing is, do you think that Charles, after his American trip, is feeling like he can take on a bit more, given the trip was such a success and they obviously had adjusted his, medication, or, I mean, it's chemotherapy, but it's taken in very different ways, Angela, now, because he does see, I mean, I know there was a lot of build up to that, and it was very, very taxing, but he does seem to be working more, Angela.
Yes, he is working more and he's enjoying it more, because what he loves, and Camilla is always saying that you can't stop him working. And so if he can do things, he's well enough to do that, then he feels much better, because meeting people and talking to people, every sort of person, is what he loves to do. And I think that does make him feel better. So I don't know quite how he feels better, whether he's stopped taking it makes him better, or whether he has to go back on it so that he's carefully looked after. But he does seem very happy. And I think in regards to Harry, he finds it much better to take it. He was very upset at one point, and now he seems that he's got lots of ways of getting round it and feeling well and doing what he wants to do. So often now he doesn't take much notice of him, particularly if Harry goes and makes a speech and says something that absolutely is appalling for the king.
So Charles is less bothered, is what you're saying, by Harry
I think he
these
is
days.
very much less bothered, and I think that that's helped by Catherine, not Catherine,
Camilla.
by his wife, Camilla, so that he just gets on, instead of actually trying so hard to get Harry to behave himself. But when you've got somebody with wives like Meghan and ruining everything, being so rude, vulgar, trying to destroy everything, then what's the point of doing it? You've got to say to yourself, get out of this. You must not let it really hurt you too much.
Indeed. Now, Angela, 8 years on from that wedding, there has been a big expose in terms of how the A-listers in attendance have now rejected Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. They're saying some pretty terrible things about them. And remember, these were the people invited to the wedding. So we're going to get into it all as